In today's video, we are going to talk about the world famous La Jolla in San Diego, California. More importantly, we're going to break down all 16 incredible neighborhoods that make up this amazing community. It's an awesome place to live and to visit, but make sure to stick around and watch this video until the very end. Each and every neighborhood that makes up La Jolla can be very different. I'm going to be going over each and every one in detail so you don't wind up in the wrong one. But before we do, if you like this kind of content about San Diego, I'm posting at least once a week at this point. Please subscribe. So neighborhood number one in La Jolla, let's talk about the Village. Now, if there was a downtown La Jolla, although nobody calls it downtown La Jolla, this would be it. It's kind of like the town center. In addition to being right on the water, having these amazing views, the cliffs, La Jolla Cove, world famous La Jolla Cove, I should say, all the seals, the sea lions happening. The Village is also gonna have all the shops, the boutiques, the cafes, the art galleries, all the amazing restaurants that a lot of people are talking about when they talk about La Jolla. If you're looking for like some of the very best restaurants in San Diego, this is gonna be the place. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're in the Village, this is the most popular and well-known part of La Jolla. There's gonna be a lot of crowds. As far as options to live, there's gonna be homes, condos, townhomes, but just keep in mind if you're looking for a place to live in La Jolla and you end up in this area, there's gonna be a lot of people around most of the time. Neighborhood number two that I wanna talk about is going to be La Jolla Shores. If you've ever been to La Jolla and you made it like a beach day, like on the sand, you were probably in the La Jolla Shores area. One of the biggest reasons this is where people go to the beach is because this is one of the parts of La Jolla that actually has sand. There is also parking, like lots of parking. That being said, even though the parking lot is huge, it fills up pretty quickly on the weekends and the holidays again. You probably want to get there earlier in the day to secure yourself a parking spot. A lot of people also come to this area to like surf, although surf isn't the best at La Jolla Shores. There's also diving, there's gonna be like snorkeling, there's hundreds of leopard sharks that frequent the area at certain times of year. You'll see people like swimming, surfing over them, people on paddleboards, kayak. And don't worry, leopard sharks are harmless to humans, at least most of the time.
Well, that's reassuring.
Now, talking about kayaks, I also want to bring up, there are like caves to the south side of La Jolla Shores. It's really kind of tied into La Jolla Village that we just talked about. You can explore these caves. You're also going to have the world famous La Jolla Cove. Now, this is a very cool, popular area where you can see a lot of seals and sea lions out sunning on the beach. You're also gonna see a bunch of tools running down on the sand and trying to take your selfies and pictures with the seals and sea lions. Don't be one of those people.
Moms running with their kids, grown men squealing like little girls. I loved it, you know, because as a local, I get annoyed seeing the tourists come here and time again aggravate the animals.
And then going back to the sand, there's also a cool boardwalk that's gonna run up and down the sand area, which is a lot of fun. It's great for people watching. You're also gonna have a massive central lifeguard station. Probably one of the safer places to swim. If you wanna live here, there's lots of great places to live, but just keep in mind, there's gonna be epic sized crowds on the best beach days. There are actually some restaurants and shops in the area as well. In fact, if I'm in the area, I'm usually gonna be hitting up which is another Italian restaurant. Neighborhood number three I want to talk about is one of my favorites. It's going to be Bird Rock, La Jolla. Now, contrary to popular belief, Bird Rock is in fact part of La Jolla. It is not its own community and it is not a part of Pacific Beach. It's actually named after a large rock out in the ocean. If you ever get the chance and you're looking for it, just look for the rock. It's a pretty good sized rock and there's gonna be a lot of birds usually hanging out on it. Bird Rock. Now, Bird Rock is gonna be a very popular community. The proximity to the ocean, and it has its own separate little like town or like a strip of like stores, boutiques, little restaurants. There's actually a coffee shop there called Bird Rock Roasters. I've been seeing a lot of those pop up all over San Diego County. I think they're starting to give Starbucks some headaches.
About that, little friendly competition.
Now, just like La Jolla Village, Bird Rock is actually a pretty good place to live if you're looking to minimize driving, let's say like in your car, and a semi kind of walkable lifestyle. There's a lot of stuff that's within walking distance to a lot of the homes or condos and townhomes and apartments. Now, if you're down there, especially during the day, maybe on a weekend, Beaumont's is a pretty popular restaurant. They have a cool brunch that I go to sometimes, like on a Sunday, let's say. Awesome mimosas. And fun fact, I used to actually have an office in Bird Rock, right on La Jolla Boulevard. So I've spent a lot of time there. I like the area a lot. We're gonna get into neighborhood number number 4 in just one second. But if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, my name is Wesley Guest and I'm a San Diego real estate agent. If you need any help moving to or from San Diego in most of the communities, don't be shy about reaching out to me. My contact information is going to be down below in the description. All right, let's get back to it. Now for neighborhood number 4, I'm going to go ahead and combine 3 very similar neighborhoods. I want to talk about Upper Hermosa, Lower Hermosa, and I want to cover the Beach Barber Tract. Now the Beach Barber Tract, it's going to be right here. It's bordered by the ocean and La Jolla Boulevard, which has many of the cafes and restaurants and businesses and shops that we talked about with Bird Rock. It's a very laid back La Jolla neighborhood. It's also going to be home to Wind & Sea Beach, which is a popular surfing spot. Actually has an iconic kind of like surf structure hut. It looks like this, if you've ever seen that. They actually built it way back in 1946. They've redone it a few times, but that was when the first, that's the first time it went up, 1946. Like I said before, this is a popular surf spot. Most of the time, there's not gonna be a lifeguard on duty, so you have to be careful. It's not an area for beginners. Now, housing on this area, in addition to being right on the water, you're gonna see various architectural styles, but probably the most common two are gonna be English style homes and Spanish style homes. Now, right next door here, you can see just to the south is gonna be Lower Hermosa. Very similar neighborhood to the Beach Barber Tract, but Lower Hermosa is actually home to one of the most famous streets in the entire community of La Jolla and some of the most expensive real estate I have ever toured as a real estate agent. It's going to be Camino de la Costa, or also known as the Street of Dreams. Mostly homes in this area, but there are going to be a few condos and townhomes kind of sprinkled in. Now, just to the east or northeast of Lower Hermosa is going to be Upper Hermosa. Very similar neighborhood, only one huge difference. Upper Hermosa is going to be bordered to the west by La Jolla Boulevard instead of the ocean. Nice place to live, just means you gotta cross a busier road to get to the water. Now for neighborhood number 7, we're gonna shoot up north.
Go north.
Let's talk about La Jolla Farms. It's gonna be a very exclusive area, very private area, and a lot of the homes have space and land, literally some of the largest oceanfront lots in the entire community of La Jolla. It's also gonna be the community on the cliff, so right down below is going to be Black's Beach. You may or may not have heard of this area before. If you know a surfer, or if you surf, you have probably definitely heard of it. Amazing surf. It's a very treacherous hike to go surfing, go to the beach, and to come back up. That's the first thing to know. Second thing to know is it's a nude beach.
Nude?
Nude.
Now here's the funny thing about La Jolla Farms. So a lot of people have been to La Jolla, been here to visit. Maybe you know someone who lives there. Maybe you live here. Talk to people, get a little more detail, and you'll find out that a lot of people have never actually been to La Jolla Farms. It's very much off the main roads, and like I said before, very exclusive. It's home to or borders the world famous University of California, San Diego, or UCSD campus. But some of the views up here of the Pacific Ocean are absolutely insane. Great place to live, but the price points are definitely gonna be up there. Like your next door neighbor could be Alicia Keys way up there. For the next neighborhood, I wanna combine 2 areas again, and I wanna talk about La Jolla Heights, and I wanna talk about La Jolla Village. They're right next to each other, very similar neighborhoods. Now, both of them are gonna have pretty easy access to like UCSD, like if you're going to college there, taking classes, maybe you teach there. Very easy commute, it's gonna be walkable or bikeable. That being the case, housing points, different types of housing, there's gonna be different types of housing the closer you get to the university. There are gonna be areas, you're gonna have a lot of apartments and condos where you're gonna have like a lot of students in the area, but as you move away, you get farther away from the university, it's gonna turn into more like traditional La Jolla. You're gonna have a lot of European style homes. Now, a big plus to being in this area, because you are close to the university, you're also gonna be close to like the strip malls, like the grocery stores, very easy to drive to. You're also gonna be extremely close to UTC, or University Town Center, which is a very popular shopping mall. You're gonna be really close to like trolley access. Hospitals are right there. And if you're living in La Jolla and you're a commuter, you gotta drive to or from your job, the commute to La Jolla Heights or La Jolla Village is going to be a lot easier than going to a lot of other neighborhoods in La Jolla. You just don't have to deal with a lot of the traffic. By the way, if you're curious about like housing prices or condo prices in any of these neighborhoods and you want to find a place where it's all breaking down like neighborhood by neighborhood, or let's say like housing type, that kind of stuff, I'm gonna have a link below where you can check all that out on my website. For neighborhood number 10, I want to talk about Hidden Valley.
It's a very secluded part of La Jolla, hence the name Hidden Valley. Now, if you've ever driven through La Jolla, going to, maybe coming back from, and you use, let's say, Google Maps or Apple Maps to navigate on your car ride, it probably took you through this area. You thought it was some crazy winding roads. You didn't know where you were going to end up.
Where are you taking us?
You saw some incredible ocean views probably on the way. You took a weird turn and all of a sudden you were on the freeway. That community that you went through, that is Hidden Valley. Very hilly, and there tends to be a lot of traffic at times because, like I said, Google Maps and Apple Maps and all the other map apps, they send cars through the area. Very easy access to the roads. So when you think about housing in Hidden Valley, just keep in mind it's on a hill, going to be a lot of cars that kind of pass through, but it does have very easy access to the village, easy access to Jolla Shores, and very easy access to the 5 and the 52 freeways. Okay, for neighborhood number, what are we on, 11? We're going to be talking about the neighborhood right next door to Hidden Valley. It's going to be called Country Club. Now, there's no secret here. The area is called Country Club because it's built around and it's very close proximity to La Jolla Country Club. It's a beautiful golf course. I mean, views you can imagine from up on the mountain. Now, the Country Club is very nice. The golf course is amazing. So you're up elevated on the mountain there. So the views, once again, of the Pacific Ocean are absolutely incredible. Very nice place to play golf if you play golf. Very affluent area in La Jolla. Well, most of La Jolla is affluent. Find incredible homes, even for La Jolla standards. Now, the next neighborhoods I want to talk about, they're going to be right here. They're going to be to the south and to the southeast. It's going to be Muirlands and Muirlands West. Now, Muirlands is not only one of the biggest areas or neighborhoods in La Jolla, it's also going to be a great family neighborhood. In Muirlands West, you're going to have the junior high school and La Jolla High School. This area is basically exclusively homes. I mean, you're not going to see any of the shops, restaurants, anything like that, no cafes. It's going to be a mix of traditional style homes, European style homes, but you're also going to see like modern style homes, and then you're going to see spectacular, like behemoth size homes. I have a buddy who lives there. He's lived there for years now. He loves that neighborhood. Next neighborhood, I want to combine two neighborhoods once again. I want to talk about La Jolla Alta and La Jolla Mesa. You can see right here, you're going to be bordering PB kind of to the south. And even though on the map here it looks like you're facing south and not the ocean, you do start to hit the hills. So a lot of the homes, condos in this area are gonna have pretty amazing views. You're gonna look down onto Pacific Beach and the ocean and the sand, and then out to, in a lot of cases, the west. But this is one of those areas kind of similar to Bird Rock where people, when you're in North PB or you enter La Jolla Alta or La Jolla Mesa, it's kind of hard to tell. If you're gonna be living most of your life or lifestyle in Pacific Beach, let's say, you're right there, especially like off Turquoise Street, because there's a lot of restaurants, shops off Turquoise Street, Pacific Beach. It's right there. It's a couple streets down below that, you're gonna have the main strip, or like Garnet Avenue, where all the crazy bars are and all that crazy stuff. And then if you're down that far anyway, you could easily access like Mission Beach Boardwalk and take advantage of that. I can't talk about these areas and not bring up, there's 3 very large kind of gated communities. It's gonna be El Dorado, there's gonna be Ventana, and Emerald Cove. So if you're looking for something a little more like tract home style, this might be a good fit for you. And for our final neighborhood, neighborhood number 16, let's talk about Soledad South. It's gonna be southern facing on Mount Soledad, Soledad South. It's pretty famous and it's a little bit controversial. There's a big white cross on the top of Mount Soledad. A lot of lawsuits have been happening over the years. Some people want to see the cross up there, some people don't. But what's more important up there, it's home to the Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial. It's free and it's open. It's going to be walls and plaques, like hundreds, if not thousands, of military veterans placed by their family. Very cool thing to check out. And of course, the views, once again, like a lot of other areas in La Jolla, from Mount Soledad are going to be spectacular. Those are going to be your 16 neighborhoods that make up La Jolla. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this content entertaining or informative, please subscribe. If you're looking for any help moving to La Jolla or anywhere in San Diego for that matter, don't be shy about reaching out to me. Once again, my information is going to be down in the description. If you're looking for your next video, I think you might like this one. Have an amazing day.